Hello, you are welcome to this video, and in this video I'll be showing you step by step how to create this type of door. With this knowledge you'll be able to create a similar door. If you are new to this channel, I'd like you to consider subscribing to my channel. On this channel I teach how to use Revit, architecture, Lumion and 3ds Max. Without wasting your time, let's get started. Now, if you want to create a Revit family, you simply go to the application menu and you go to new and you click on family. Then, depending on the family, the type of family you want to create, there are so many of them here. You can see we have baluster, we have case, wall base, and so on and so forth. If you go down, you will see window. We have window here. Then you can also see door. These are default Revit family that you can start creating from. So take for instance, if I want to create door, I am going to select door, then I will click open. Now this one will take me to where I can create a door. Now door is a wall base, is a wall based family. There are other family that can stand alone without having to be fixed to the wall. Like if you are creating a wardrobe, it is not a wall base. So for door it is a wall base. Now the most important thing you will see here is one, you can see that the dimension, for this dimension they are given in imperial system. So the first thing I want to do here is to change the unit, the project unit, to metric system. That is the one I understand most, and that is the one most of the African understand. So if that is what you understand metric system, which is millimeter, meter and centimeter. So you are going to change the unit, the project unit, and where you can change the project unit is in you go to manage, then you go to project unit, then you can change the length to millimeter, so that you will have idea of what you are dealing with. Now all these dimensions are now given in millimeter, which makes it easier for us. Okay, now if you look at this, you will see three things here. These are reference plane. These reference plane are very important in creating Revit family. Why are they so important? The reason is that they are the one that controls the functionality of that family. Take for instance, this is a door. This particular door, if I measure it now, you will see that the width is 914 mm. With this reference plane, I will be able to change it to something else, like 1200 mm, like 2000 mm, and so on and so forth. So these are the ones that controls it, and we are going to be using them very well in the creation of families. Okay, now let's look at it in elevation and see what we are doing. Okay, this is the one that is provided for us by Revit. Now if you want to change the type, you want to add a type to this door family, you simply go to this family type and you click on it. Then you are going to see where you can change some parameters. Like this one, I can change it. I can change the height to be 2100 mm. The width I can change it to 900 mm, and I'll hit apply. Once I hit apply now, you will see that it will be updated immediately. You can see it is updated. So what you see is that these reference planes, they move based on the dimension you give to them, because these dimensions are locked to this reference plane, and that is why they are able to move. So if I go to the family type now and I change the height to something like 2400 mm, you will see that it is going to move. You can see it has moved upward. So in creating your own family, you have to consider that some parts of the family have to be moved, depend on the family anyway. Like if you have a chandelier is just a family on its own, that it doesn't have any part that changes. So you just have to model that one and place it there. So that one does not change. But for materials, for families like door, windows, column, you in most cases you have different sizes. You have different sizes of columns, you have different sizes of windows, you have different sizes of bed. So those kind of things that are variable, that have variables. So you need to create some parts that are movable, and because some of those parts are movable, then you need to make provision that using reference plane. Okay, so if I want to, let's see the 3D view, and we'll reduce the scale to 50. Then I'm going to take it to shaded. Okay, so for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to be modeling this door. You can see this is a nice door. Want to model something like this. I think the door is interesting. Now if you look at this door now, it has a panel that is covering the whole face of the door. So we are going to create that one first. Let's go to our elevation. Then I'm going to remove these ones I've created for now. Then let's select create and go to extrusion. I will pick a rectangle. Then I'm going to draw. I'm not going to be minding the size for now. Then I am going to select the material. The material should be something like wooden panel. Then I am going to appearance the kind of wood that I want. I'm going to pick it. Let me select wood here. Okay, plywood or no, something more interesting. Okay, I'll replace it with editor and hit apply. Okay, then I am going to lock it to this reference plane, so that as I'm changing the sizes of the door, the panel will follow suit. Make sure you lock it to reference plane and nothing else, because that is when it will be more stable. The thickness is 40 mm, which is not bad. So I am going to finish it at this level. Then I am going to go to the floor plan. Okay, it's staying where it's either on the floor plan or on the section, so that you will be sure that it's staying at the middle of the wall. Okay, once that is sure, then we need to test it. As you are working, you should be testing it, so that, because if after you have created the complete family and you see that it is not working, then you would have wasted your time. So once in a while we load it into the project so that we test whether it is working. So I am going to take it to this project, and I am going to test it whether it is working. Let's place it somewhere here. Okay, so we have placed it here and it worked. Now that we are sure that it is working now, then we can now modify it. So I'm going to modify it. I'm going to be continuing my modeling. Then I can add more features. Okay, so now if you look at the frame, this frame is we can use a sweep to create this frame. We can use a sweep to create this. So I'm going to be using sweep to create this. Okay, so let's go. I will go to the exterior and pick create. I will use sweep. Then I am going to sketch parts. I will use a rectangle. Then I am going to place my rectangle here, and the first thing is to lock it to these reference planes, so that as we are changing the size of the door, the frame will follow it. Otherwise, one side of the door will be open, and that will not be desirable. That is not what you want. So I am going to lock the end to this lower reference plane. I will lock that. Then make sure you are snapping it to reference plane. Okay, so I have locked that. Then the next thing we'll do is we need to sketch the profile. Let me look at it, how the profile looks like. Okay, the profile is somehow has a lot of shape, but we are going to have something similar to that. So I will edit profile, then I will go to left. If I go to left, then I am going to be sketching, and this is where I'm going to be do my sketching. You see this red dot, that's where you are going to be doing your sketching. This is what forms the architrave. So I'm going to be removing that one later on. So let's sketch first. Let's do our sketching. And first of all, let me draw a rectangle that will guide us. We need a rectangle that will guide us as to the size of the whole stuff. Okay, let's be sure of the thickness. We need this rectangle to guide us so that we will not go out of scale. If this thickness is 35 mm, it's okay, and the width is, that's about 75 mm. Okay, it's okay. Let me remove this. Let's see what we have done. Okay, this is what we just did. So I will remove this one for now. I will remove it. This is the default frame. So this is the the one we have just created. So we need it to have shapes like we have in our sample. So I am going to be before I edit the profile, I need to have my reference plane to guide me. So I am going to be creating a reference plane, and my shortcut for reference plane is RP. So I'm going to be having my reference plane here so that I will have something to lock it to. Then I'm going to add dimension to the reference plane. I'll make sure the reference plane are intact. This one should be 75 mm. Press enter. Then I'm going to lock it so that it doesn't move. Okay, I'm going to remove this one. It is because that one is there, that's why it's complaining. I'm going to remove this one at the middle. Okay, so I can lock this one now. Then I'm going to make sure this one is also 75 mm and lock it as well. Okay, so now that it is locked, we can now modify our architrave. So I will edit profile, and if I go to my 3D view, I am going to be seeing the profile here. So I will edit profile, then I will go to the one of the elevation, which is either right or left. Okay, so we want to make sure that this one is locked so that it doesn't change thickness, so that the thickness does not change. Then we want to make sure that this one is locked as well. So I am going to create a reference plane here. Let me finish it so that I can see, because if I create the reference plane in the edit mode, you will not be able to see the reference plane in other view. So but if I create it here, why not in the editing mode? We'll be able to see it everywhere. So I will create reference plane while we are not in editing mode, and I am going to make sure the dimension is 75 mm, or what is the thickness is 75 mm. So I will take it to 75 mm and press enter. Then I'm going to lock this dimension. Okay, so I can now edit my exterior. Oh no, what we want to do is the profile. I want to edit the profile. So let me do it on 3D. Edit, then we select the profile, edit, then we go to one of the elevations. Okay, now we want to start our sketching, and we are going to be working with this within what we have here. So we want to make sure it's similar to what we have there, even though it cannot be exactly, but somehow similar. You can see it's a sort of let me look at it again. Okay, this one is here, we have smaller bit here and it's going like that. Okay, let me widen this one a little bit, and and this one is going to drop small, or let this one go up small. Okay, okay, I think I am not perfect, but sometimes when you look at something to create your own, sometimes your own will even be preferable. So I'm going to be adding some curve to some parts, and some parts will look straight. Okay, so I'm going to be using a trim to trim them. Okay, so I think we're almost done. Okay, let me finish it now. It's still complaining. Okay, there should be another one that is overlapping. Maybe it's this one. Okay, I think that is the one. Let me finish it, because after I deleted one, it's still remaining one. Okay, now it has worked this time around. So let's look at it in 3D. We need to save it, and we'll save it as 900 door, and the number of backup should be 1, so that it will not load your system, and you save it. Okay, now you can see it is similar to what we have in our sample picture. It is very similar. Okay, the next thing is it has to cover the face of the wall, similar to what we have here. It has to cover the face of the wall, so that is what I'm going to be tackling now. And it has to be on the other side as well. It has to be on the other face of the wall. Okay, so I am going to be editing the profile once again. I am going to go to profile, edit, then I am going to go to the section. Let me go to the section. Okay, here we are in the section. What I will do is I am going to extend this one a little bit beyond the wall, so that it will cover the face of the wall. I want the line to be thin so that we can see what we are doing, and in that case I am going to be locking this one to the reference plane, and it's going to be 5 mm. Then I will want this one to repeat on the other side of the wall. So I'm going to mirror this. So that it will be on both sides of the wall. Then since they are on both sides of the wall now, I want to connect the two of them together. I want to connect the two of them together. Let me trim it. Okay, All right, this one is not locked to this. Let me lock it to this reference plane. Then this one is not yet locked. Let me lock it to that reference plane. Okay, then the material should be, we will name it as frame, and we'll leave it at this material. We want to check this use render appearance. Use render appearance. Okay, and let's finish it at this level. Okay, now that we have finished it, let's see what we have in 3D. Okay, so it's repeating on both sides of the wall, and you can see it has covered the face of the wall. So the next thing is we want to test whether what we have done is actually working before you start adding other components like these horizontal ones and these ones. Before you start adding them, you need to test first, because sometimes those locking system might be misbehave. So I am going to expand the width and see whether it is going to follow. So we'll go to type, and the width this time around I will take it to 1200 mm and hit apply, and let's see whether it is going to follow. Okay, so it has followed, so it is actually working. Then if we increase the height, what are we going to see? Let's increase the height to something like, or we reduce it. Let's reduce it to 200 mm, and let's see. Okay, you can see that it is going beyond the wall. It is going below the wall. Okay, we'll fix that one later. Okay, I think there's something that is not locked properly. That's why we're having that. Okay, the reference plane was not actually locked to the level. Okay, I think that's what happened. Let me go to the exterior, and I will lock this reference plane to this reference level. So I'm going to use a line, then I'll lock it. Now that we have locked it, now you see that it is not going beyond the reference line anymore. Let's look at it in 3D. Okay, so that is what we have. Okay, now that we are sure that it is working perfectly, then the next thing is we need to create this impression. First of all, we are going to use extrusion to create these sides. We use extrusion to create the side and the bottom. Some of my videos are long, and because of that I've provided what is called timestamp. Let me tell you what timestamp look like. If you go to the description of my videos, you will see that it has a timestamp. With this timestamp, you will be able to watch the particular part of the video that interests you most. So like this one now, if for instance I want to watch how to download 3ds models from this website, I will click on it and it will take me to exact that point. So that is what the timestamp does. So you will see the timestamp on this particular video for now, so that you'll be able to go to the exact point you want to go. I will first of all create a reference plane that will go horizontal. I'll create a reference plane that will go horizontal, and I'm going to assign a dimension to it. It should be at least 150 mm. I'll press enter. Then I'm going to lock it. Okay, let's look at the way that stuff look like. Okay, it has a bevel, and it has a bevel. Since it has a bevel, okay, this one does not have a bevel yet. It is this one that have a bevel. Okay, so this one is just normal rectangle, and I'm going to stretch it until it snap this reference plane. Then I will lock it. This one should snap that reference plane as well, and lock that. Then I'll lock this. I will lock this one to the reference plane. Okay, let me go to section. If I go to section, I should see my, okay, this is that one we have just done, and this is the one we did before. So I am going to stretch this one out so that it will be thicker. If you look at it, it's thicker than, it projects outward more than this one. So let's go back. So I've projected it. I think I need to lock it to this reference plane. Then this one should be locked to this reference plane as well. Okay, then the material, I want the material to be different so that we'll be able to maneuver it in Lumion easily. I want the grain of the wood to be horizontal, so I will note it as horizontal so that the grain will be horizontal by the time I'm going to apply materials in Lumion. Okay, I'll click OK. What else? Let's look at it in 3D. Okay, that is it there. This is it here. Okay, I want this material to appear like a wood. So I don't like the way it is appearance. Let me use this one and see. Okay, the graphics should be use render appearance. Then I'll click apply. I'll click OK. Okay. Alright, the next one is we are going to take care of this bit. We'll take care of this bit. So you see that this one has a recess. Since it has a recess, the best approach to it is we use sweep. So I'm going to go back and go to exterior. Then I'm going to pick create. I'll use sweep, then sketch path, and I am going to draw let me draw the part here, or let me just draw it outside somewhere here. Then I'm going to lock the end of it so that it will be able to expand. By the time we are expanding our door, it will be able to expand. I'll lock the end. Okay, now that the ends are locked, so that when we expand the width of the door, it will follow suit. Okay, I'm going to finish it. Then go to profile. I'll go to left, okay, or section. Let's do it in section. Okay, now that we are in section, I'm going to draw a rectangle. Then I am going to lock that rectangle to this reference plane. Then I need another reference plane to lock this one too. For now, let me finish it first so that I will place that reference plane. I just press CS for create similar. So I'm going to place dimension, and this width should be 150 mm. That is not going to change. 150, and I'm going to lock that. Even though we are changing the height of our door, these ones should remain the same, shouldn't change, should be static. This one is complaining that we are over constraining the. Okay, let me leave this one for now. Then this is the one we have just created. I'm going to edit sweep. I will edit profile. Now I've already logged that one before. Then I'm going to log this one to this. Then this left hand side should be locked to the center, and this particular one should be locked to this. Then I am going to bevel. There's a place that is a little bit beveled. I'm going to bevel it. Then I'll use trim to clean it up. Use trim to clean it up. Then let me use arc to curve this end. We'll curve this angle a little bit. Let's look at our. I have a slight curve there. Just a small curve. Okay, so I will use a trim to clean it up. I use trim to clean it up. Okay, I think I need to move this one down a little bit. Okay, and then the material should be the one horizontal, so that it's going to, we are going to be modifying it in Lumion. Okay, I think it's not bad. It's not bad. So I will use this same one to create the vertical ones. These ones, I'll use the same one to create this one first. Okay, then I'm going to go to exterior view and I will copy that particular one and rotate it. I'll rotate it by 90 degrees. Then I'm going to edit sweep. I will edit sketch. Then I'm going to lock the ends to these reference planes so that as we are changing the size of the door, it will follow suit. Okay, then I'm going to lock this particular one to this reference plane. You are locked. Okay, and let me finish it first. Okay, if you see, it's facing the wrong side, so before I resolve that, I'm going to place a reference plane here so that I'll have something to lock it to, and I will assign a dimension. The dimension should be 150 mm, and I am going to lock that particular one. Okay, so let me edit this. Edit sweep, edit profile, then go to floor plan. It's supposed to face this side, or better, or face both sides rather. So I'm going to make it to face both sides. So I will edit profile, and I'm going to take it inside a little bit. And I will move it out to this reference plane, and I need to lock it. I need to lock it to this reference plane. I'll lock that. Then this one should be locked to the other reference plane. I use align to reference line. It's not locked yet. Let me lock it to reference plane. Okay, so it is locked. Then I want it to face this side as well. To do that, I need to mirror this. I need to mirror this. Then I'm going to trim this one. I will trim this one as well. Then remove this one at the center. Okay, so I will finish it at this level. Then let's see what we have in 3D. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's not appearing well the way it should. Oh, the back is nothing to write home about. Okay, I need to correct this. Let me go to section and correct that. If we check the distance here from here to here, this is 76. So if I go to the floor plan, from the center I should have 76 as well. Edit profile, should have 76. Okay, that's where we got it wrong. Should be about 76. I'm going to move it backward by 2 mm. Okay, so we have exactly 76 now. The other side should also be 76 as well. I'm going to move it down by 2. Okay, so we have 76 now. Now let me finish it now. You see that it should be better now. Okay, so it is better. Okay, it is looking better. Okay, let me repeat it on the other side as well. Let me go to exterior, then I am going to repeat this one. I'll use mirror to mirror it. Then I am going to edit sweep. I'll go to, let me go to sketch first and make sure it is locked to that reference plane, because as we mirror it now, it has lost its property. Then I'm going to make sure that this one is also locked. It's also locked to this. This should stop at this reference plane, or I'll finish it. Okay. I need to correct this. This one is supposed to stop at the reference plane below it. I'm going to unlock this one first, then lock it to this other reference plane, because that is where it's supposed to be. Okay, now let's see it in 3D. Okay, that is it. I think it's beautiful. It's nice. Okay, then I need to repeat this particular one at the upper level and at the middle as well, because if you look at it, it is both at the middle and at the upper level. Okay, so I will go to exterior view and I'm going to pick this particular one. Let me edit the sweep first. I want it to repeat on both sides. I want to make it to repeat on both sides. I'll go to section, then I am going to mirror it. I will hit on shift to unselect this, then mirror it so that it will repeat on both sides. Then I'm going to remove this. Okay, this particular one should be locked to this reference plane. Okay, and let's finish it. Now that we have finished it, we can mirror it. We can mirror it so that we'll repeat it at the upper end. Okay, so I have moved it. I am going to still move it and place it on this particular and lock it to this reference plane. Okay, let me do that in the sketch mode. I'll go to sketch path, exterior, and in this case I am going to use dimension to lock it, and the dimension should be to reference plane. Okay, then I make sure that the end is also locked to reference plane. It should be locked to this particular reference plane. Let's be sure. Okay, this is where it stops. All right, so this should be locked to this reference plane. Then this one, in that case I need another reference plane here. Let me create that reference plane. Okay, so I will create the reference plane here. I will assign dimension to it, and the dimension should be 150 mm. 150 mm. Then I am going to lock that dimension. Okay, so I will edit this. I will edit sketch, and I'm going to first of all stretch this so that if there is any lock before it to lose it. Okay, let me align it now and lock it. Okay, I think we are almost good to go. Okay, let's look at it in 3D. Here we go. It's not bad. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, there's something that is not right. It's not, the face are not on the same line. So I'm going to go to section to fix that. And the reason is that it's supposed to extend beyond this because it's a sweep. So I'm going to disengage this. I will also disengage this, then align it to this particular one. That is where it will work. That's where we are not going to see that gap. Okay, so I will finish it. Let's see it in 3D now. It should be better now. Okay, see, it is better. It is better now. It has closed that gap we were seeing here before. Okay, so the next one is we need the one in the middle, which is this particular one. We need it at the middle. So we will go back to our exterior view, and I'm going to place another reference plane, RP for reference plane, and I'm going to place the reference plane here and assign a dimension to it. Okay, then this dimension we have assigned, when we are going to be adjusting the height of the door, these are going to be changing depending on our preference, so that we are going to flex this. So what I will do now is I am going to delete this dimension first and make it 2 dimension. So this one I'm going to name it as upper part. Then it should be instance. Then I will hit OK. So we will be able to modify it depending on the height of the doors. I am going to flex this. I'm going to leave this one. Okay, so that here we'll be able to move. As we are changing this part, that one will be changing as well. So okay, in that case, let's try what we have just done now and see whether it's going to work. So if I go to type, let's save this door. If I go to type and I want to change the height of this place, maybe the height of the, where is the upper end? Okay, this is the upper. I want to change it to 1200 mm. 1200 mm. What is going to happen? Okay, it has pushed this one down. Okay, then if I want to make it to be, let's say I want to make it 600 mm, what will happen? Let me make it 600 mm. The upper part should be 600 mm. What is going to happen? It's going to push it up. Okay, so you can see it has pushed up. It has pushed it up. So it means this place is flexible to move. Depends on our preference. So since we have, let me take it back to, let's say we can take it to something like 1 meter for now and hit apply. So here I am going to, or let me make it the height of the door, let me make it 2.1, that is 2100 mm, and hit OK. Okay, the height has adjusted. Then this particular one should be this one should be about 1500. It's too much. And let me make it 1300. You can see it is interesting, it's moving. Okay, then I need a copy of this at the middle, so I'm going to copy that to the middle. And I am going to edit this one. I'm going to edit profile. It will take me to section. Then I want to move it to the middle exact, so that it will be exactly at the, okay, now I'm going to remove these lines because I want this small design to repeat at the other side of it. Then okay, now the next thing is I am going to lock this one to this reference plane, so that I don't want the width to increase or decrease. I want it to remain where it is. Okay, then let's finish it. Let's finish this one. Now let's look at it in 3D and see what we have just created. Okay, you can see it is showing here which I don't want. It's showing that it's crossing this particular one. I don't want it, so I'm going to edit it. I'm going to edit the sketch. I'll go to exterior view and I'm going to disengage this for now. Okay, it's not even engaged in the first place. It's not engaged, so I am going to align it to this particular reference plane so that it will not show. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Let me leave it first. I need to create another reference plane. I need to create another reference plane that will be exactly on this line. So let's create another reference plane. You can have as many reference plane as possible. It's going to help us to align those things correctly. I will need another. Let me be done with this one first. Let me align it to this particular line before I lock it. Okay, now that I've aligned it, I'm going to lock this dimension so that that dimension is going to remain static. Okay, then I'm going to mirror this one. I will mirror this. Okay, now that I've mirrored it, I need to lock it. This is the one we have just created. I cannot select it, so I need to use tab to cycle through it. Then I'm going to lock that particular one. Okay, I've locked it. Okay, now I can edit this one now. Edit sketch. Then I am going to lock it to this particular reference plane. Remove constraint first, then lock it to this. Then this one should be locked to this. Remove reference plane, then remove a constraint. Okay, now it's locked to this particular one. Now let's see it in 3D, what we have just created. How does it look like? This look better. This look better. Okay, we are going to do the same thing to this middle one and sketch exterior, and then this one is not even engaged. Okay, I'll remove reference or align this to this reference plane. Make sure it is you are locking it to reference plane, because if you don't lock it to reference plane, you are going to have some challenges. Never lock it to models or sketches. Okay, we are getting there. Okay, this is sweet. This is fantastic. We need to do the same thing to this. We'll use sketch, exterior view, and I'm going to disengage this. I'm going to unconstrain this, then align it to this reference plane. Align this to this reference plane. All right, then I'm going to finish it. Okay, let's look at it in 3D. This is sweet. This is fantastic. Okay, now that we have created this, the next thing is for us to create this particular one, and which is going to be very simple. It's not going to give us too much stress. I think we can use sweep to create this. Yes, we can use sweep. Okay, then but before we go to that stage, we are going to test this. Okay, I'm going to load it to project now. Let me put it here. Okay, so we can see that something is not working proper. Something is not working proper. The locking system of this one is misbehaving. Let's look at it. What will happen? What of the lower? Okay. Okay, now we reduce it. See what is happening. It has actually reduced. It has followed exactly what we want. It has followed exactly what we want. The only problem is that this place were not properly locked. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go to edit. We need to test this so that it is not after you have finished your modeling and you see things scattering, and that time you will it's going to be tough for you. So you need, as you are working, you'll be testing it. So this particular part need to be locked properly. That's why you are seeing it breaking apart. Okay, so I'm going to be tackling with this one first. I'm going to make sure that these two are always on the same line before I come to this. I think this one is okay. This one is not misbehaving. It's these two that are not in place. So let me make sure I tackle that one first. I will go to my window. I will edit this. Okay, now we need to be sure which one is actually not working properly. If all these are on the same line and these two are not on the same line, it means it is these two that are out of place. So that is the one we need to fix. We need to push these two inward to be on the same line with this we need to push this one to be on the same line with this. Let's see how it's going to be. Let's go to okay, so I will go to section. Let me go to my floor plan first and put a section there. If I put a section here and go to section, okay, now this one is supposed to repeat on this end as well. Remove constraint and lock it to this point as well. Okay, that means it was locked before. Let's see what is going to happen now. Now that I lock it to this end, perhaps it has solved the problem. Let's see. It's still not solved. Okay, let's still edit it further. I will go to exterior. I'll pick this, edit profile. I will edit profile section. It's locked. It's locked. So why is it? What is happening? Okay, let me show you something here. There is a problem here. By the time we increase this wall to 225 mm, you can see that these ones are no longer aligning. Then when I increase this wall back to 225 to 150 mm, you see that they will align back. Okay, you see that they are okay when the wall is 150 mm. So I'm going to use that to correct it. Let me take the wall to 225 and correct it and see whether we can fix that. So 225 is what you are going to be for now. You can see where the fault is coming from. So we are going to check the width of this one now. What is the width of this? And that is where we want this to be as well. So maybe I will need to use a reference plane that will keep those ones in place. So what I will do to fix this is I am going to make sure that I conform this to 150 mm walls. So I'm going to go to the section and I am going to create more reference plane that will serve as the thickness of our wall. I'm going to move it out a little bit. Then I can copy this. I will assign dimension to it and equalize them. Okay, then I'm going to assign dimension to this, and this one I'm going to name it as thickness of wall, and I'm going to make sure this type is selected. This type parameter is selected and hit OK. So that means if I go to my type, and when I'm dealing with 150 wall, I will have opportunity to change this to 150, to change that particular dimension to 150 and click OK, and that will be 150. You can see when I go to type, if I change it to 225 for instance and hit apply, the dimension has changed. So that is to say these are flexible. we can flex it. Okay, if that is taken care of, then the next thing we need to do is to lock those sketches to this reference plane. We are going to lock it to these reference planes. So I am going to edit this, edit profile, and then is it locked before? Let's see. It's locked to a particular. Okay, so let me flex this as well on constraint, and then I'm going to lock it to this reference plane. Lock this to this reference plane. Okay, now I can finish that. Then this one also should be locked to that reference plane, all of them that applies to that particular face. So I am going to, okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to isolate this one so that it will remain only that one. If I select this reference plane and this one, then I'll also select this upper one and isolate them. So I will also select this. Then if I go down, you see this one that look like eyeglass. Then I go to isolate elements, so all other things are hidden. It is only those ones that are left now, so that we'll see where we actually snap into. Very, very important, because I don't want to snap it to the model part. It is going to give us trouble later on. Then I can now select my move tool and move this to this. I can align it. Then I can move this one to here. The reason I didn't align it direct so that it will not affect this curve. That's why I didn't align it direct. I need to move it so that I will not tamper with that curve. So I can, okay, I move it out small so that it will give me opportunity to align it. Okay, so I'm going to lock this one. Then which other one remain this upper one? Let me finish this one for now. Then this one I'm going to edit, then edit profile. We'll do the same thing. We are going to move it close before we align it. We'll move this one close, then we now align. Okay, so I can align this one now. I still need to move this one further. I can use my arrow key to move it until I get a required gap. Then I can now lock it. Let me finish it at this level. Okay, you can see both of them are working now. Assuming I decided to change I go to type and change it, what is going to happen? If I change it to 200 mm, is it going to follow? Let me test it to be sure. They can't create. That means not working. Let me, if I hit delete, it's going to delete it. Okay, it has deleted that particular one. So what am I going to do now? Let me undo for now and see what really happened. This one is not working with it. I need this to actually conform with both 225 wall and 150 wall. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this to be, let it just conform with 150 wall. Yeah, let it just conform with, now let's make it 200. Will 200 be okay? Let's make it 200 so that it will be in between 150 wall and 225 wall. So if I hit type and I change this thickness of wall to 200 mm and hit apply, yes, I would, no, I don't want to delete that. I want to cancel for now. So what I'll do is I will unlock this. I will remove constraint. I will constrain that. I'll unconstrain it. Okay. So now that I've unconstrained it, let me see whether there is a way I can fix this, because that is the one that is giving us trouble now. Let me finish it. Okay, now let me go to type. I go to type and change it to 150. Is it going to follow? It's still asking to delete something. It has deleted another one again. Okay, it means that curve is not working with it, so I'm going to cancel. Let me make this one to be 200 mm so that it can work for both 150 wall and 225 wall, and we are going to make it static, which means we are not going to change that. So I am going to lock this one to make sure it always remain at 200 mm. Okay, if that is the case, then we are going to isolate this one so that we only see these ones, so that we not make mistake to align it to a model. Then I'm going to go to this eyeglass icon and isolate element so that other things will be hidden. It is only this one we are working with that will be seen. Let me go to section. I will edit this profile. Okay, I'll select the profile, edit profile. Then I want to make sure I lock it to those reference plane. I will lock it to this reference plane. This one, you are locked to this reference plane. Okay, so I'm going to finish this one. Okay, then this one I'm going to edit. I will select it and edit profile. Then I am going to move it very close to the reference plane before I align it, so that it is not going to tamper with the curve part that we have there. Okay, so I'm going to align it now. I'm going to align it to not tamper with the curve. too much, although slightly, but it's not a big deal. Okay, then I'll finish that, finish it. Then this one I'm going to edit it, and I select it, edit profile. Then as usual, I'm going to move it closer before I align it, so that I will not alter the curvature so much. Okay, I'm going to align it now and lock it. Align and lock. Alright, so we are done. Oh no. Okay, so I'm going to hide other things now. Reset. Okay, let's see what we have in 3D. Okay, so you can see all those horizontal ones are now on the same line. So the ones we are going to fix now is these vertical ones. So we are going to go back to these vertical ones and select it, edit. Then I'm going to select the profile and hit edit. Then let me go to floor plan. If I go to floor plan, I want to align it to this reference plane. The reference plane is already seen there, like we did in the section before. We move it closer before we align it. Then I'm going to move this one closer before I align it. Okay, so I will align it now and lock it so that it's not going to move. And make sure you are aligning it to reference plane and not to the model, not to the sketch. Alright, then I can finish this one now. Then I will pick this second one, edit sweep, edit profile, then move it closer. I hope you are benefiting from this tutorial. If you do, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, and ring the notification bell so that you'll be updated whenever I upload helpful videos like this. So I'm going to align it further. The dimension would over constrain, and let me cancel. Why? This dimension would over constrain the sketch. Why? Okay. Let me use dimension and see whether that one is going to work. The aligning is not working. It's complaining that it's going to over constrain the sketch. So if I select that line and take it to 0, then I'm going to lock this 0 so that at any point it's going to be 0. Okay, that one work. So I'm going to finish it, and let's see what we have in 3D. I think it is perfect now. It is very perfect. Wow, this is beautiful. So We are going to load it to our project and see whether it is going to conform with our project. So it is fine, fantastic. The door is beautiful. Okay, so the next one we are going to work on now is the center part. We are going to work on this. Like I told you before, we can use sweep to create this impression. So let's try sweep and see whether it is going to work for us. Okay, so we go back to our model, edit, and before I do that, let me make sure that things are not scattering. So I go to my type and take the type to be the height to be, let's say if I change this height to 2.4, will it going to break my model? Let's be sure of what we are doing. And the width to be 1 meter, because I want that place to be flexible so that we can always change it to our taste. We want to be sure whether it's not going to break our model. Okay, so it doesn't break our model. Okay, our model is still intact. Okay, that means we are on the right path. Then the next thing I want to do is, if I go to exterior, these parts I want to delete it and change it to something else. So I want to dimension it, and this dimension I will name it, and it's going to be a type. It's going to be a type parameter. Then I will take it as lower parts so that we can always change it. Lower part and hit OK. So you can see it has changed it to lower part. As it is now, we can always change this. We can always change this particular part of it, so that when we want this one to be smaller, it will be smaller. When we want it to be bigger, it will be bigger. So if I go to type and change the lower part to, I change it to, let's say I change it to 750 mm and hit apply. You can see it has pushed it down. Then I still go to parts. I still go to type. This upper part is no longer there. I've removed it, so I will delete it. I will delete parameter. Are you sure? Deleting family parameter upper part? Yes, because it's not working for us. Okay, so I'll hit apply. We are okay now. Okay, so what if I want this one to go up somewhere here? Is it going to allow me to do that? So if I go to type and I change the height of the lower part to something like 1500 and hit OK. Okay, it's working perfectly. All right, we are good to go. And now if that is settled, then the next thing we will do is we want to sketch this part now. So I will go back to my model and select create. You will select create. I will select sweep, then sketch part. I'll pick a rectangle and just draw. Then if I draw, I am going to make sure I lock this. First of all, let me align it to this. Let me align it to here. Then this one should be aligned to here as well. Should be aligned to here. I just want to check the dimension. Anyway, there's other way we can check the dimension. Okay, now that I've aligned it, but I need the reference plane that I can align it to. Here I have a reference plane. I can align it to here. I can align it to here. Then I don't have a reference plane here that can guide me, and I don't want to lock it to. I don't want to lock it to a model part. So, but I can use dimension to lock it. Okay, let me fix the reference plane there so that it will be my guide. Okay, I need to create the profile before I do that. I'm just going to draw a profile. Just draw an arbitrary profile for now, just for us to escape from the model. Okay, so if I go to exterior, I will create another profile here. I will create another reference plane here. Then we'll create another reference plane. Then I will make sure I align those reference plane to here, but I'm not going to lock it because it is to a model part. I'm going to use dimension to lock it rather, and it should always remain at 85 to this particular reference plane. Okay, now that dimension is always fixed. Then I'm going to edit this profile. I'll go to left view. Okay, then the thickness, if we look at it, the thickness is about it's not up to 150. This is about 120 mm or 130 thereabout. It's not up to 150. It's a little bit smaller. Then I can lock this to always remain at that 150. Okay, then let's finish it first and see what it's going to give us. If we go to exterior, then I'm going to edit sketch. Then this one I'm going to align it to this reference plane. Then I'm going to align it, this particular one, to this reference plane. Does it work? Doesn't work. Okay, let me disengage it first before I align it. I'll align it to this reference plane. Then the lower one should be aligned to this reference plane. Then the upper one should be aligned to this reference plane. Okay, then let's finish it and see what we have produced. Okay, so you can see that we are in progress. Okay, now if I decided to change the lower part, what is going to happen? Will my model still remain? So if I change it to 750 now, will it going to break my model? Let me see. Okay, so it is working. Okay, now that we are sure it is working, let's create the profile proper. If I go to section and this height is 130, is looking too big. Let me unlock this one. 75. Let me take it to 75. 75 mm. Okay, I will lock it, finish it, and go to 3D. This is looking better. The size, the scale is better now. Okay, then the next thing is the material. The material should be which material will I use now? Shouldn't be horizontal, and let me replace it with something else. Okay, I can use this, replace in editor. Then the appearance should be use render appearance and apply. Okay, so then I need to work on the profile now to be something like this, something similar to this. I want to make it something similar to this. If you look at this now, these are two parts. This one is lower than this one is deeper. So I will go edit profile. I'll go edit profile, then I'll go to section. If I go to section, I am going to sketch another triangle, another rectangle, and trim it. Okay, now this is what we have. Then the thickness should reduce. Yeah, shouldn't be too thick. Then I'm going to take this one up a little bit. Then I'm going to use curve to curve this part to somewhere here. Use trim to trim it. I will delete this. Alright, then if we look at our, then we are going to have a small curve here, okay. So if I go, I will add a small square here and trim it, and delete this. Then this is where I want to have the curve. Let me see it again. Okay, so I'm going to reduce it further. This one will go up a little bit, come down a little bit. Okay, so I am going to pick this. We have something like different steps. I will convert some of them to curve. I will use trim, then I will use curve here, and use the trim, then Okay, then I think if it's like this, not bad. Then let me repeat it on the other side. Before I repeat it on the other side, let me delete this. Okay, then I'm going to use trim. Okay, let me finish it. Let's see what we have in 3D. Wow, this is getting closer to what we have. It's getting closer, but we are not there yet. We are not there yet. So I'm going to edit it further. Edit profile. We'll go to our section. So I am going to move this one down a little bit. I'm going to move it down small. Then this one should come down small, and cancel. Then I'm going to move this one down a little bit. Okay, then let's finish it for now and see what we have. Okay, I think it's closer to what we have. Okay, the depth is not too much. The depth of what we have now is extremely too much. So let's edit the profile further. We are getting closer to where we want to be. So you can see this depth is shallow. So I'm going to take this one up a little bit. Then I will pick and make it shallow. I will mirror this. Okay, so this shallow stage is okay. Let's look at it. Okay, we need to loop it properly. It's not properly looped. Where is it that is not properly looped? Okay, this is where we are having issues. So let's finish it and see. If we look at the 3D, this is very close to where we want to be. Okay, this is very, very, very close. Okay, I think that is it. We have gotten it. Then the next one is this particular one. We need to reduce the thickness of this. I can go to section and take it to the center. I need to unlock it. If it's locked before, it's not locked before. So I will take it to the center. Okay, so let me look at it in 3D. Okay, it is better now. It is far better. Okay, the next thing is I need to reduce some of those curvatures. Some of those steps, I need to reduce the number. Maybe I will have to remove this one. I will have to remove this one. I'll remove this one, then trim this. Then I'm going to move it down a little bit. And finish it. Let me look at it in 3D. Okay, this is better. It's better. It's looking better. Okay, then the next thing is we need to repeat it on the upper end of it. We need to repeat it on the upper end. So I am simply going to mirror it. Okay, now that I've mirrored it, the next thing is I'm going to edit it. Edit sketch part. Then I am going to align this lower part to this reference plane. Then this one should be aligned to this particular reference plane. Sorry, make sure. I want to be sure it's aligning to reference plane and not to sketch. Okay, then I select my align to. Okay, so I will align it. No, not this one. Okay, so this one should be aligned to this. This should be aligned to this reference plane and lock it. Am I right? I don't think I'm right. Okay, we'll see it. Okay, the upper side is not correct, so I need to fix that right away. I'll go to exterior view. I'm going to place another reference plane. Okay, so this reference plane should be on the same line with this, and I'm not going to lock it. The way I will lock it, I will use dimension to lock it. Okay, so now when I select this one now and I go to edit, then sketch part, then I can now align this to this reference plane. Let me remove the first one, then lock it to this one now. Then I'm going to finish it. Okay, if I finish it now, I go to my exterior view, 3D view. Okay, I think it's working perfectly. It's working perfectly. Now that we are done with that one, we want to test whether what we have done will not break. You continue to test, because it has happened to me before. After finishing the modeling, I saw that things were breaking apart. So I wouldn't want that to happen. That's why I continue to test. Then this other one, I can make it 1200 mm. I can change the lower part to 1200 and see whether they are going to be intact. Then I will. Okay, so it is working. They are all working together. So the next thing is I want to load it into the project and see how it is going to look like in my project. Okay, I think it looked great. It looked great in our project. Look amazing. Okay, so even here I can decide to change the parameters. If I want to change the height, I want to change the width to 1 meter, I can do that and hit apply and it will work. Okay, so it is working perfectly. All right, then the next thing is we have something on the upper part here. We have this one. So this one is a simple thing that we can create. We can simply use extrusion to create this. Yes. Wait, so we have it before, but it's not showing. It's not showing, so I need to work on it. I will edit sweep, edit. So I will move this one outside. I'll move it outside. And I'll move it. Okay. Now I will move this one out a little bit. I'll move this one out to make sure it's on the same line with this. The only problem we'll be having with this is, the walls are different, 225 and 150 mm. So, but the wall we are using to create it now is 225 wall. So maybe when you get to 150 wall, you can work on the family. So I will finish it. Then the material wood panel is okay. Then let me see it in 3D. Okay, I think it's okay now. Then let me load it into a project and see whether it's going to show in our project. Okay, it's working fine in our project. It's not bad. Okay, then I will edit it further. I will go to exterior. Then I want to create this particular. I want to create this one. To create that one, I will use extrusion to create that. I'll go to extrusion, pick, then just pick a rectangle and just draw. And in drawing, I need to align it to some reference plane. So I will take this one out a little bit. I will take this one out more, and it will extend. Let's see it. It's extending just tiny, like 30 mm. So I will go and extend it like 30 mm. And lock that dimension so that part will never change. As we are changing our door sizes, that part will remain 30. Then lock it. Then the depth, so I will take it to this very point. Then I have to bring this one down. Then we need to consider the depth. What should be the depth? Let's look at the depth. 46. Okay, it's not bad. Then I can lock that. Then the material, the material should be horizontal. I want it to show horizontal. Then I'll finish it. Then I go to the elevations and push it outside. Push it outside. Then I can lock that dimension to some of these reference, to any of these reference plane, so that it is not going to change. I have 57. 57 is not bad. Then I will lock the other side so that that point doesn't change at any time. It's going to remain where it is. $56. Okay, it's not responding, so I'll use a stretch. Okay, I have 58. Okay, I have 55. It's close. I can lock it at 55. Not bad. Okay, let me finish it. Let me see it in 3D. Okay, so that's what we have in 3D. Okay, then what is left for us now is this part. This part is what is left for us. So what can we use to create this part? We can use extrusion to create this part, then use sweep to create this part. But you notice that they are not going to, we are going to make it the width fixed and the height fixed, so that they are not going to move. They are not going to move as we are increasing the sizes of the door. So I will go to exterior. Let me place another reference plane, and if you look at the height of this is about 225 mm. So is it 225 or 200? About 200 mm or 180 thereabout. So I will use the 180. I'll use pick dimension to here should be 180, and this part is never going to move. 180. Then I am going to lock it. Okay, so I will now pick my another one. I will create another reference plane. Then I will add dimension. This one should be something like 15. 15 is too small. Let's take it to 40. Okay, 40 is not bad. Okay, so I'm going to lock this part. Then I am going to pick my, the next thing is I need more reference plane. I need more reference plane, and I will create this one so that some part of that upper part will move, but then some part will not move. If you look at this width is going to increase when we are changing the width of our door, but this curve is going to remain the same. So that is why I need those reference plane, and I'm going to make it to something like that upper part, let me select this reference plane. I'll use tab and take it up, then tab, take it up. Then what should be the dimension? The dimension should be something like 200 mm. So 200, no, 100, then 100. Okay, so I am going to lock it so that at any point in time it's going to remain at 200. Then I can now produce my sketch now. So I am going to select create extrusion, then I will just draw. Then the lower part should align with this reference plane and lock it. Then the side should, let's see. Okay, the side is on the same line with the main door, so it's on the same line with this. So we are going to align it with this reference plane and lock it and pick another one starting from here to here, then pick another one starting from there to there. Then I'm going to lock the edges to those reference planes. Okay, then I will pick an arc from here to here and use a line tool to lock it to that reference plane. Dimension of our constraint. Okay, let's leave it since these edges are locked. Is okay. Then I'll finish it. Now if I finish it and look at it in 3D, does it look okay? I think it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, so let's test it. Let's test what we have done. Assuming we increase some of the parameter of our door, is it going to affect it? If I increase the height to 2200 mm and increase the width to something like 1300 mm, is it going to follow? Let's look at it. Okay, you can see it follows. It doesn't break. If it doesn't follow, it will break. What if I reduce it? No, let's leave that. Let's not spend much time. Okay, then the next part is we need this one. I'll pick sweep. Then instead of sketch part, I will pick part. This way we'll pick a 3D. So I am going to pick this edge first so that it will help me to create my profile. Oh no, that is not the edge I should have. Okay, that edge will still work for us. Then pick this other edge, then finish it. Then the profile, I will edit the profile. To edit the profile, we'll go to exterior view. This width, I'm going to reduce it small, like 40. Okay, like 40. I will lock that. Then okay, that means it is working. Then I need to add some effect now, those steps. Okay, then trim it. then I will pick arc and delete this one. Is it true? So I will trim it. Use trim, and this one is supposed to be a little bit deeper. Let's take this one up small so that to be deeper. Then finish it. Okay, this is looking more interesting. Okay, so now that we have created this, we can now replicate it. Let's mirror it and see. If I mirror it to this side, what is going to happen if I change the size of my door? If I change the size of my door, will that one break apart? Let's see. If I change the width to something like 900 mm, let me know what you benefited in this video in the comment section. Okay, you can see that as I reduce the width now, this one does not follow it, so I need to do something about it. So let me go to 3D and edit this. I will edit parts and delete all these parts. Delete all these parts, delete this. Then I'm going to pick a fresh edge so that it's going to follow that edge wherever that edge go. It's like a cap. Wherever you go, your cap should be able to follow you. Okay, so assuming I increase the size, now what is going to happen? Will it follow the size? If I increase the size to 1200 mm and apply, okay, you can see it is following it exactly. So let me try the height now. If I increase the height to 2400 mm, will it follow it? Okay, you can see it is following it exactly. Then the next thing we need to do is to adjust the material. The material should be wood panel. Then I will pick this one. The material should be wood panel. Okay, all right, that is good. It is a beautiful door. Okay, now let's load it into our project. Let's load it into our project. If you want to download this file I'm creating now, let me know in the comment section and I will send you the download file. If you are interested in downloading this file for this door, let me know in the comment section. I will send you the download file. Okay, you can see the door is working perfectly. It's working perfectly. So the next thing we will do is the handle. This is the locking system. So for this locking system, we are going to create a separate family for this and this, so that it will be easier for us. Because if we want to create this locking system in the door family, it's going to give us some trouble. So it is better we create another family, then load it into the door family. So let's get started on how we can create the family for the locking system. So all you need to do is click on File, New, then select Family. Then we can use, let's try and use generic to create this. Let's use a generic to create this. What to do is we'll go to elevation. We'll go to elevation and right click, zoom all. Then this is elevation. This is where this is going to be the face of the lock. So since here is going to be the face of the lock, then I'm going to sketch the part in the left elevation. So I will zoom to fit. So I can use extrusion to do that. I will use extrusion to do that. To use extrusion, I'll simply click extrusion, then sketch it. Then let me change the project unit to millimeter, the length to millimeter, and hit OK. Hit OK. Now I can select it to be 20 mm radius and finish it. Okay. Then I need to be sure that this is locked to this reference plane, to this plane, so that at any point in time it's going to stay in place. So to do that, I need to go to the left elevation and stress this. So I'm going to create another reference plane, and with the dimension, this dimension should always be equal. Then put another one, and then this one I'm going to name the parameter to be length. Length of lock, and should be type. Then hit OK. Okay. So then I'm going to lock this one to that reference plane. I will lock this one to this reference plane. Okay. So for now it's working. Then let's try and create that opening. To create the opening, we select it, edit, then we can place an ellipse. Just place an ellipse and finish it. Okay, so okay, so we have an opening there. Then let's try and load it into our door family and see whether it is going to work. So here it is. Let me place it somewhere here. So this is the locking system is already loaded into this family. Then the next thing is I need to create where I can place it. So to do that, you know, the locking system is going to be, if we look at our exterior view, is going to be here. So it's going to be here, somewhere here. So I need to create another reference plane for it. I need to create a reference plane and make it longer a little bit. So, and that reference plane should be here, and fix a dimension. Let me make it equal. So then I'm going to remove the dimension and dimension one side and lock it. Okay, now the locking system is always going to be at the center of the it's not exactly at the center anyway, it's going to be somewhere at the center. So I'm going to use a reference plane to position it proper. Before we do that, we need to determine the center of this door. So let me put another reference plane which will serve as the center of this door. So I will name it as, the name should be center of the door, center of the door, and apply. Okay, then I'm going to fix in a dimension. The dimension should come from here to here and to here, and they should be equal. Okay, now let's load it into the project and see whether it's going to work. If it's not going to work, then we'll revert it back to where we were before. Okay, so it is still working, our model is still working. Then we still edit it further. Now that we are sure our model is still working, the next thing is I'm going to position this locking system here and lock it. Then we'll place it at the center of the door, at the center of the wall, and also lock it. Then for this that we have done now, let's load it into the project again so that we are sure it is still working. If it does not work, then we'll revert back to where we were before. Okay, it's still working. It's just that it placed it under the door, and let's fix that. Okay, let's look at the where it is in the elevation. Is at the under. So okay, so I will move it up. I'll move it up from the center. I'll move it to the center. Okay, now it's at the center. Let me move it down because I want it to be lower from the center of the door, and I'm going to add a dimension to it. I will add a dimension from the center to the locking system, to the lock. What should be? It should be something like 200. It should be something like 200 from the center. 200 mm. It's too much. 150. Okay. Then I am going to lock that this dimension so that it will always remain at that dimension from the center of the door. Now let's load it into the project and see whether it is going to work. Okay, so it is still working. It is still working. The only thing we need to correct now is the length of the locking system. So let's go and select the door back, edit family. Then we are going to select it and edit type. Now the length is 277. Assuming we take it to 210, what will happen? And preview it. Okay, you can now see it is perfect on both sides. It is perfect on both sides. So here is our locking system. Then what if we change the size of the door? What is going to happen? Let's experiment that. If I change the width to something like 1200 mm and apply, okay, then load it into the project and see what is going to happen. If it is not going to work, then we'll revert back and fix it. So you can see it is still working. To edit that opening so that it will look like a normal door, we will select only that lock and edit it. Then we'll go to the front elevation, and we'll pick extrusion, pick line, and finish it, and look at it in 3D. Then select it and take it out. Then we'll go to one of the elevation, left elevation. Then we need it to be either outside or inside. Okay, let's say we want it to be outside. Okay, in that case we are going to fixing a reference plane. Okay, then the material for this internal one should be we'll name it as opening. We'll duplicate it. The material, because we don't want to spend more time on that. The color should be something like orange. Then let's name it as opening. And apply. Then let's look at it in 3D. Let's look at it in shaded form. Okay, it's too much. You can see it is too much. So I'm going to edit it further. Exterior view, finish it for now. Then this dimension, we are going to unconstrain it first. Unconstraining. So let this dimension be something like 1 m. Then let this also be 1 m. 1 mm. Then we can now lock it and see it in 3D. Okay, this is better. This is better. Okay, so we can now load it into the project, load it into door family. That is the project we are loading it into. Override. Let's see our door. Okay, our door is still working. Let's load it into the original family, which is Revit family. Revit tutorial. How is it going to appear? So it's still working, it's still in place. Okay, now that it is still in place, we are going to create the handle. Now to create the handle, you can see how the handle look like. So we can start creating the handle from this family, since they are almost similar. So we'll start the process from here. Let's select this same family, edit, Then we are going to select this family and still edit the family, which is the locking system. So this is our locking system. So I'm going to save it as the handle now, so that it will be a different family. Save as family. Then I think I have a handle before. Okay, I'll save it as a handle. Then the backup should be only one. Save, replace. Yes, I don't want that former one. Okay, now this is going to be our handle now. If this one is going to be our handle, it means we don't longer need this opening, and we don't need this reference plane. We don't also need this. So then we don't need the opening. I'm going to edit and remove this opening. Okay, so this is our starting point. This is our starting point, and let's look at it where it is. What shape can we use to create this? It's like a curve. We can use I will just use a sweep to create something similar, but I cannot get it exactly. Even use extrusion. Let me use extrusion to do that. So I'll use extrusion to do that. Extrusion, and on the floor plan I am going to sketch. Okay, so I can trim it. Okay, what should be the length of the handle? 250. Okay, 250. I will name it as length of the handle type. Okay, so that we can always adjust it if we don't like it. And then this one should always be locked to this reference plane. I don't want it to change. Then this width, what should be the width? 20 mm. That is too thick. Let's look at it. 13 mm. Okay, I think so. I want the head to taper. I want the head to taper a little bit. Then I want this to be curved and trim it. Okay, then let's know what this dimension is. This is 55. 55 is not bad. Okay, then I will mirror this to this end and align things. I will align this head to here, so that at any point in time they should always be aligned. I will lock it. Let them always remain aligned. This one is 18. Lock. Then pick and dimension this and lock it as well. Now let's finish the material. The material should be door handle. Change the color graphic. Change it to something that look like gray, and duplicate it as handle. Handle material. Finish it. And let's look at it in front view. Okay, this is our front view. Now we can stretch it down. Okay, now we can place our dimension and lock it to this plane. So at any point in time, it's going to remain in place. It's not going to shift. Okay, so this is our door handle. Okay, so we are going to load it into the project. Load it into this door family. This door we've been working on before. So here it is. Now that we are here, we can place it here and align it. Pick align to, align it to here, lock it, then align it to the center of the wall as well. Let me move it out a little bit so that I'm sure I'm aligning the handle and not something else. Then I will align it and lock it. Okay, then this type, we started from the door lock. I'll change the type to be same as 210. Okay, now let's look at it in exterior view, whether it's staying in the place we want it to stay. It's not staying in the place, so I'm going to move it up a little bit. I'll move it up small, then align it to the center. This is our center. Align it there to the center of the door. Okay, it's not responding, so it's not snapping to this center. I will take it, I'll move it manually. Okay, now that I've moved it, I need it to be in place all the time, so I will need to lock it. To do that, place a dimension and lock this dimension. Now we have made a lot of changes to this door now, and we want to be sure it's still in place. Okay, so let me load it into the project and see whether it will not break, whether the door will not complain, or sometime after adjusting you see that after loading into the project it will not work. So where is it here? Okay, you can see it is working perfectly. It's still staying, it doesn't break. So okay, so the next thing we may want to do is it possible for us to make this place curve? Yes, it is possible. For us to make it curve, what we use, we'll edit the family further. I will select it, edit family, then I will go to 3D and pick sweep void. Pick void, then pick 3D, then finish it. Okay, edit profile. Okay, let me look at it in front elevation. Okay, so I'm going to use curve from here to here. Okay, then pick line, something that will trim that edge, and finish it. Let's look at it. Okay, you can see it work. It has actually trimmed that edge. It's chamfer that edge or fillet that edge. So since that one is working, I can edit it and make it mirror it. If I go to the front view, not the front view, left view, and select it, and will it agree for me to mirror? Okay, it worked this time around. Okay, so we have made that place to be curved. Now we can load it into the project and override. Okay, let's look at it in 3D. Save. Yes. Okay, so it's working properly. At this time, there are a few things I want you to do. One, click on this like button. Then, secondly, share it with your friend so that they too can benefit from this video. Then third, subscribe. If you have not subscribed, you see this place red, make sure you click on it. It doesn't cost you anything. Then you will see this notification bell. You are going to click on it and you select all so that any day I upload a video, you will be notified. You go to actingconsult.com and subscribe to any of these tutorial. We have Lumion tutorial, we have Revit Tutorial Masterclass, and these ones are on Udemy. You can also get it if you're in Nigeria here, you can get it here. And you can also get it on PayPal if you want to use PayPal to order for it. In case you are not in Nigeria, you just click on it and it will take you to where you can enroll. All right, see you there.